Watch this video and then we'll talk about it.
You know what? Sure. Men don't have to pay for dates anymore. Like, I totally understand. Y'all have every right not to pay for a date. I also understand going 50-50. Every right to go 50-50. However, communicate that when you ask a woman on a date. No man will ever do that because they know it sounds crazy.
When my friends and I make plans, we all come prepared. It's pretty much assumed that either one of us is going to pay for everybody as a treat, or we're going to split the bill, or we're going to do separate tickets, depending on the day, the person, the friend group, whatever is going on. You know how that goes. When a man asks me out on a date, the expectation is that he is paying for said date. If they made it clear, hey, you seem like a cool person, I just want to get to know you as a friend. Oh, okay. Then I have it in my mind that, we're going to just have separate tickets. And sometimes, people are getting to know someone just to be their friend or just to sleep with them. And that's fine as long as it's consensual and both parties are aware of what's going on. But if you're trying to get to know me romantically, okay, right, to see where things go, then the expectation is that you're asking me out and you're paying. Now, smart women know that you always come prepared. Drive yourself. That's always the safest option. But you need to have money in case you need an Uber. You need to have money in case at the end of the day, they say, well, here's what you got and you need to pay. You need to be prepared if they stick you with the whole bill because they ditch you, and say, oh, I need to go to the restroom, and then they skip out, and leave you sitting there with the ticket. You need to be prepared. Anyway, so if I get to a date and, we're having a good conversation, we're gelling, the dinner is dinnering, and then when it's time for the check to come, if he says, oh, we're splitting this, he's itemizing what he had and what I had, I'm not giving him a reaction. Nope, I'm not telling him off. I've heard women say, I tell them off, and I do. Good for you, honey. Good for you. But they're not getting my energy, because any energy is good energy when it comes to a lot of these men. You know what? Sure, you're right. I did have the spinach artichoke dip. I did have the steak. You're totally right. And I'm going to pay my part. And they're just going to get blocked, and that's going to be the end of it. I would respect you if you were upfront and gave me the option to proceed or not to proceed. At that point, if you continue on and you get upset because you had to pay and they told you that, that's on you. But if you're upfront and you're like, well, you're going to have to pay half, or there's only going to be appetizers, or I'm only paying for drinks, which I don't drink anyway, then I have the choice to say, you know what, I'm not really interested in that. No, thank you. No harm, no foul. I go on about my day. But for me, I'm not interested in the type of man who would, first of all, not be upfront with, what the tone of the evening is going to be, what his expectations are. And I especially am not interested in the type of man who would stick me with the bill or expect me to pay half of the bill. And for all the dumb fucks who are going to come up in my comment section bitching and complaining about my standards, if you don't meet my standards, that's fine. There are plenty of women who will treat you like their child and will pay for you, okay? And they're totally fine with that. Go find them. Get the fuck on. Scurry. But like she said in her video, they're not gonna come forward. They're not gonna say that. Because like she said, they know that shit's fucking ridiculous. And any man who's like, well, what about feminism? What about women paying? What about equality? Those men don't give a shit about any of that stuff, only when it benefits them. When they got $5 to their name, then they fucking care about feminism and you paying half the bill. So completely miss me with that bullshit. Men aren't gonna be upfront. because they know you wouldn't give them a chance. That's why I fucking hate when people give me all this choose better, pick better bullshit. They know. I mean, there are some people who are fine with friends with benefits and hooking up. I'm not talking about when both parties are aware and consenting to what is happening. Stay on task. But for the most part, men aren't going to tell you up front that they just want to sleep with you. They're not going to tell you up front that they're a 50-50 type dude. They're not going to tell you up front that they're going to ditch you with the bill. They're not going to tell you up front that they're going to itemize and ask for the bill to be split. They're not going to tell you up front that they're just looking for a place to stay. They're not going to tell you up front that if they have kids, they don't take care of their kids. They're going to lie and make it seem like the mom's just keeping me away from my kids. They're not going to tell you up front the truth of their character and who they are. Depending on the depth of their character flaw, they're going to wait for a particular time where it's perfect to expose that part of who they are. And if they are a 50-50 split in half, I only had the lemonade and the garlic pepper wings type dude, they're not going to tell you that until the bill comes. They're not going to tell you that up front. They don't want you to know that they ain't shit because we wouldn't give them a chance. That's why stop telling women to choose and pick better, because these men be fucking lying. They be putting their best face and foot forward to try to get us in there, to try to get us hooked with their tap water ass soggy toast personalities. But I will tell you this, ain't nobody's personality funny or great enough for me to split and go 50-50 or to sit there with you while you itemize a bill because you can't afford to pay it. If you're broke, just be upfront about that, okay? There are plenty of women who will be more than happy to foot the bill and take care of you like you're a damn toddler. Just be honest. But you won't, because you know that you're a bum and that shit's embarrassing.